Hello, everybody. Hello, YouTube. So good to be live. I'm looking at the live stream and I'm looking at all of the hellos that are already here waiting for me. What a pleasure. What a pleasure to log on. And I've already got all of these hellos. Hello, everyone. How you doing? Let me know how the energies are treating you. Feel the love expanding. Yes, Annette Lasadi. I feel it, my darling, and I'm sure that all of you in the live stream, that you're feeling it, and you're going to be, even if you're listening on the replay. This is a conversation about love, and love is incredibly contagious. It's thoroughly infectious. It spreads like wildfire. And when you start cultivating love inside of you, it is not something that you can just keep to yourself. The tendency of love, the nature of love is to expand. Imagine trying to do this. Imagine trying to hold love here. It's not comfortable. It's not comfortable. You want to hold love in such a way that it's free to just emanate from you. So let me know where in the world you are today as I greet you all in the comment section. I'd love to know where you are. Lisa, I saw your message moments ago. Lisa says, hey, everybody from Maine. And then she said, it's the first time I get to say that. And I know why, because Lisa's just moved to Maine. So I hope this is the start of a very happy, beautiful new life, my darling friend in Maine. And whilst I'm thanking my friends, a big thanks to Kristen Dolan, who inspired not today's conversation necessarily, but today's conversation happening now. We can thank Kristen Dolan for that, because I shared with her a little while back that I felt very called to do a conversation about twin flames. And she popped me a message and said, you said you were going to do that conversation about twin flames. Now's the time. So yeah, thanks for giving me the little push to get it to you guys today. Everybody, it is so good seeing all of these hellos from all around the world, from Diane in the Netherlands and Laurie in Arkansas and Elizabeth, hey, Eliza in Florida, Karen in Denmark, Cheryl Corsione, Tara, who's in British Columbia, Canada, Cynthia's in California. There are so many hellos from all around the world, from the US to Canada to all throughout Europe and the UK. And I wonder if there's anybody with us from Australia or New Zealand, because it's pretty early for you guys. I do apologize. If there's anybody awake at an ungodly hour in New Zealand or Oz, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. So I want to share with you, as we start, I want to share one of the funniest comments that I got from somebody in my Instagram community. So I posted, that I was going to be doing today's talk, put the little blurb on Instagram, and somebody writes in my comment section, I could have been Sarah, I forget now who it was. Somebody writes in the comment section, looking forward to this topic, Kerry, because when people talk about twin flames, the subject is a little bit hit and miss. And I thought, oh God, yeah, that's a lovely way for me to start. I'm really looking forward to it, but this topic is a bit hit and miss. But she's actually not lying. And in all seriousness, I've avoided this topic for a long time. And the reason why is simple. Because there's so much fantasy around what a twin flame is. And the fantasy and the reality don't always meet, and they don't always match. And there's a lot of people who don't necessarily want the reality, they want the fantasy. And to those people, I want to leave them in their bubble. I want to leave them in their happy place. It's not my job to take them out of their bubble if that's where they want to be. So let's start there. Let's start talking about the fantasy, and let's understand that the fantasy is really no different than the fantasy we grew up with as children. So as children, then teenagers, then young adults, we kept being repackaged and resold the same story. And the story was always about this ideal, absolutely ideal romantic love, wherein some somebody was going to be able to really just lock eyes with you. And when they did, they would know your soul. They would see right into you, and you would feel seen, and you would be loved. You would be so fully loved that you would be healed in that light of that love. You would be whole in that light of that love. You would have no wants, you would have no needs, you would have completion. You might even rise up on a cloud and find yourself in heaven. And of course, yeah, I'm being facetious when I say that, but seriously, look back at our lives. We've been led and misled into this notion that there exists a love out there that is our savior, a love out there that is separate to our identity. Because why? We're waiting for someone else to give it to us. We're waiting for that someone else. We're at their mercy. Come on, where are you? Now, when we're younger, we would call that, maybe the languaging would be soulmate. And then we grow up and we perhaps move into a spiritual community and we learn a new language. And the language now is no longer soulmate. The language is now twin flame, which is a level beyond soulmate. So for those of you that are listening and going, oh my gosh, my heart's broken. Gary's saying there's no such thing as a twin flame. No, I promise you I'm not saying that. I'm just wanting to get us all onto an even ground and an equal footing, and a place where we really understand the fantasy versus the reality. Because let me tell you this, the reality is about 1,000,000 times better than the fantasy. But we have to let go of the fantasy in order to allow for the reality. So one of the places where we do it is by confronting it and realizing we used the same idea with a different label. So twin flame became, or rather soulmate became twin flame. Even before soulmate, it was the knight in shining armor, or it was the princess. It was whoever was that fairy tale person for you. Now we've got to let go of the fairy tale. We've got to let go of the fairy tale in order to liberate ourselves, in order to emancipate ourselves from this terrible, putrid, horrid game of waiting for somebody else to fulfill us, waiting for somebody else to be our everything. We need, as individuals, each and every single human being alive needs to become whole within themselves. And in that wholeness, you become so magnetic, you become so attractive, you become so in demand, you become so beautiful to your counterpart. Wholeness is an absolute prerequisite to stepping into if you're looking at the idea of a twin flame and you're feeling very called to explore this topic. It starts there. It doesn't start with where most people want to start, which is, when am I going to find my twin flame? Where is my twin flame? How do I meet this person? Like, is there a place I've got to go to? No, of course not. There's a you that you've got to embody and a you that you've got to become in order to bring yourself into the twin flame relationship. So what that means is, you're not at the mercy of another to find you, to rescue you, to give you the love. You are here to catalyze the love that already exists within you into reality through embodiment. So you get to be the love that you dream of. You get to be the love. You get to be the wholeness. You get to be fully and completely you in such a divine, rapturous state that meeting another person is merely a moment in your life where you say, God, how much better can life get? Because you're already fulfilled, you're already whole, you're already in that state of enoughness. Yes, Lenora, there is no Messiah of the heart. Correct. I'm checking in on the comment section. Amy says, I am my own twin flame. All others are soul connections. See, my audience is very wise. You guys are incredibly and astoundingly wise. So, Melissa, hello, beautiful Melissa Middleton. The very stance of seeking tends to put us out of phase with the natural reception of the very connection we desire. Exactly, because it's out there, I'm chasing, I'm looking, I'm seeking. And how frustrating is life when it's out of your control? Because you're reliant on another person to be the missing piece in your life, without necessarily realizing that you're the missing piece. Now, a lot of you will hear what I'm saying and say, oh, I already know this. I understand this, and I know that you do. But can you go beyond understanding into living? And today, together in this live stream, we're going to be sharing some practice. Because love at this level is something that you want to practice. And if you stick around throughout today's live stream, we're going to be connecting in the heart space at the level of that twin flame love, which is a spiritual love. We're going to be connecting there. So if you stick around, you're going to get some opportunities to practice. Let's talk about practice, because a lot of the time, don't we spend a lot of the time, specifically when we think about relationships, talking about, dreaming about how we want to be loved? You know, I want to be loved like this, and I want to be loved like that, and I want my partner to do this, and I want my partner to do that. And this is how I don't want my partner to love me, and this is how I do. So we spend a ridiculous amount of time looking in the wrong place, because all of that stuff is outside of your control. So what is within your control is the following, and it is, how can I love? How can I give? How can I make myself available to my partner? And what if you don't have a partner? Then how can I love my friends? Because that's practice. How can I love myself? Because that's really good, really essential practice. How can I love creation? How can I love that which I cannot even see, which is the cosmos? How can I love that which I am a part of? You see, we've spent so long looking for the perfect love that we forgot that the real goal was only ever to love perfectly. It was not to have this perfect Prince Charming, the perfect love. That was a fallacy. It was, how perfectly can I show up to love? How perfectly can I love in an imperfect situation? For example, how perfectly can I love someone who's in a bad mood? How perfectly can I love someone who's ungrateful? How perfectly can I love myself, honor myself, respect myself, meet my own needs? How perfectly can I love? And how perfectly can I allow myself to be seen as this love? See, those places are in your control. Therefore, you're powerful in those places. So we're moving from that idea of selfish love, which is, you know, I want the perfect love and I want the perfect partner. We're moving away from the idea of the selfish love into the love of self, the true love of self. And away from all of the fallacies, away from all of the myths. Now, hello, beautiful Cassie Falkvein. Cassie writes something that is, and I've got notes. So often I end a live stream and I go, oh, damn it, I forgot to say certain things. See, normally you guys remind me with your comments, which is what Cassie's just done for me right now. And every now and then I just know that there's some ideas I don't want to leave out. But thank you, Cassie, for writing what you did, because it reminds me of a very important part of today's conversation. This is what Cassie wrote. One is not meant to be alone. bottom line, one is not meant to be alone. For many, many years, I worked in baboon rehabilitation. So I worked with wild animals. I worked at a wildlife sanctuary, but we specialized in the rehabilitation of baboons. So I got to know the nature of primates, which is invaluable when you are a primate, because we like to think of ourselves as galactic beings, and we like to think of ourselves as cosmic beings, and we forget that we're also primates, because this body is genetically encoded to operate on the template of primate consciousness. And just like Cassie says, one is not meant to be alone. If you look and spend any time in nature, specifically with primates, you're going to see the human template, the human blueprint. We are not meant to be alone. We are meant to be very physical, very much in touch with ourselves and others. Not clinical, not sterile, not separate. It just isn't our nature. And yet there will be those people that say either, I don't want to be in a love, and when I say a loving relationship, I mean a romantic relationship. There will be those that say, I don't want to be in a romantic relationship. But there will also be those that say, I do. But where's the dude? Where's the girl? Where's the partner? They're not with me. So what do I do then? What do I do when I am alone? When I find myself alone? You take all the love that you have. And let's do this as an exercise together right now. Remember, I said that we're going to have the opportunities to practice. So let's practice. And one of the ways that we're going to practice is this. Learn to love. Learn to love in such a way that you've never loved before. Now, everyone here, every single one of you can love. I'm under no illusion. I don't think that you're unloving. But there's something magnificent, utterly, utterly magnificent in the human blueprint when humanity starts to love. I want to take my shoes off. It's getting hot in here. When humanity starts to love and they're exposed to that love, something comes alive. Something in them activates. And what that something is their true nature. So being around the baboons, looking at the primate blueprint, reminding ourselves, we're born to love and be loved. But what if you're alone? By choice or by circumstance? Then you love humanity. And I know it's not the romantic love that some of you are saying, I really want this, I'm really ready for this. I hear you. But if it's not in front of you right now, you must channel the love you have somewhere. Otherwise, it becomes frustration. And no, you won't use it up. You will amplify it, right? So I would love for each one of you just to look into the comment section, whether you're on the replay or whether you're in the live. And I want you to write a little love letter to a stranger. Take anybody's name and just write them something special. Could be, I want amazing things for you. It could be, if you read something that they said that was really lovely, hey, thank you for sharing your wisdom. It could be, I see or I feel or I acknowledge the love within you. How beautiful is it to be acknowledged? How beautiful, how sacred is it to be seen? So I want you to just write a little love letter to anybody, and it could be 10 somebodies or one somebody. Just write a love letter to a stranger in the comment section, somebody who's caught your eye, not because of their photograph, because what are we going on here? Most of you don't even have photographs. I want you there's 113 people according to my system right now. There's 113 people. So you got 112 to pick from. Just say something. Have a beautiful day. but say it from your heart in such a way that you feel a kindness behind the words. No empty words allowed. No empty words. Now, maybe you're going to miss the comment that was meant for you, because maybe you get 10 comments, maybe you get 20 comments back. Maybe you get no comments back. This is not about what you get. This is about what you give. So just give randomly, but give fully. Give with a kindness. This is a non-romantic love. A non-romantic love. It is simply, hey, fellow human being, I respect you. Hey, fellow human being, we're alive on planet Earth right now during the most phenomenal shift that we could ever undergo. You're courageous. You're amazing. Thanks for showing up here today. Thanks for bringing your energy into my world, because each one on the live stream and in the replay, there's no time limit here. You could be watching this in a year's time, in which case you're going to have way more than 113 people to choose from to send a love letter to. Right? Whether it's somebody you know and preferably somebody you don't know, because a lot of you here are from my Plasma Light tribe, and I love you, and I know you're going to choose the ones that you know from the Plasma Light tribe, but choose a stranger too. Choose somebody that you just don't know. Can I read one for you? I mean, I want to give you an example. This is from Tara to Elizabeth, from Tara to Eliza, and it says, I'm assuming these two are strangers. Tara says to Eliza, may you be happy. May you be at peace. May you walk in ways that bring blessings. May you know true love. I love you exactly as you are. How special, how beautiful, how sincere, how honest. Look at the power of love for a stranger. Non-romantic love, kindness. Julie sends a message to everybody and says, sending love and light to all the beautiful souls here. Tessa sends a message to Ture, and she writes, Dear Ture, I want you to have an extraordinary life and day. Have an extraordinary life and an extraordinary day. What? When did a stranger ever say to you, hey, I want you to have an extraordinary life, but can you feel what's happening? Can you feel the genuine love? This is not lip service. This is not, here's some pretty words because, because then none of you would write anything and none of you would feel anything. Whether you've written hello, honestly, with a little emoji, or whether you've written something so incredibly pure and beautiful and heartfelt. Doesn't matter. You don't need a literary prize. You don't even need to be English. There's emojis if English isn't your first language. Big hugs to all of you from Sarah Boyd. Somebody that you don't know. And Sarah leaves me a lot of comments, and I love Sarah. Hello, my angel. And I can tell you that Sarah's got a heart that can love the whole planet. Beth says, thanking everyone for showing up and for being your very best. I see you. And that's so special. Oh, Esther, you are all doing a good job. When last did somebody tell you that you're doing a good job? Pravina says to Anna McKee, you are a blessing. Diana says, I wish all the love to everyone, and may everyone have a healthy, joyful, peaceful life with love. Look, at the power of humanity when they love. This is your power. And guess what most of you have been doing with your power? You've been holding it back, holding it back. Why? Because you're waiting. You're waiting to give that love to the special person. You're waiting to give that love to your romantic partner. And whether you have that romantic partner in your life or not, doesn't matter. Don't stop giving the love. Practice every day in every way. Just give love. Dear tribe of souls, this is from Eva. I see the divinity in you. This, you got to read them all. There's a comment section from those in the live stream, which is going to be separate when you watch the replay. The live stream comments are separate to the live stream, to the replay comments. So you can have a look at what I'm reading, or you can just start your own comments in the replay section, and every now and then come back and read them. Come back and read them when you want to be inspired, and don't stop. Please don't stop commenting each other while I'm speaking. I don't want this exercise to be, okay, well, that was a 10-minute exercise, now we're done. I want this to be your way of life. I want this to be the way love flows through you, that you love perfectly, that you stop waiting for the perfect love, and that you take every opportunity to just love. Because before you can be in a twin flame relationship, and if you are in a twin flame relationship, then even more so, it's imperative to be in your wholeness with your heart wide open, in a state of spiritual maturity. And what defines spiritual maturity? Spiritual maturity is defined by the state of being wherein you are taking responsibility and accountability for you. That's what it means to be in spiritual maturity. I wrote a blog, it's on my website, and it's called Responsibility versus Blame. You can go and read that blog if you feel like it. It's a very, very good, thought-provoking conversation about what responsibility is and why humanity has avoided it like the plague, because we really, really have. So go ahead, if you feel like it, go ahead and read that. I'm just scrolling through comments and comments and comments of love, of just pure love. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Somebody wrote that grief is just love with nowhere to go. Wow. You know, you guys in my audience, where did you come from? You are so wise. Each one of you listening, you are so wise. I respect you and I love you so very much. How utterly, utterly beautiful. When I look at these comments, not just look at them, when I feel the flow of love that comes through each one of you. So to be in wholeness, in spiritual maturity, which is in personal responsibility. So now you're not projecting out there. When you're not projecting and you are taking the role of leader, the powerful role of leader in your own life, when you're occupying that space, you're ripe. You're very, very ripe. You're eligible to enter a twin flame relationship. But does that mean you have to? Does it mean, because what if you're listening to this? Here's a scenario. What if you're listening to this and you go, oh my God, well, I'm married and I don't think I'm married to my twin flame. Now what do I do? Does that mean that I should leave the person that I'm married to, whether I love them or don't love them, because now there's this rite of passage that somehow marks my spiritual evolution? That if I have this thing called a twin flame, I've reached an accolade, I've reached a spiritual milestone. No, I cannot say no loudly enough. No. That is not what a twin flame is. It's not an accolade. It's not a badge. It's not something that makes you more special than somebody else. It is simply the manifestation of your internal love. and it's a divine love. The twin flame love is a divinity. It is a sheer, pure divinity, and it's called flame, twin flame, like fire, because it's like fire, because it burns away the impurities in you. So when you meet your twin flame and you think, oh, we're never going to fight, it's always going to be perfect, there's a lot of fire involved with the twin flame. But for most people, when you meet the twin flame, for most people, it happens because you can connect to your own monadic structure first. Let's break down what that means. The monad, your monad, is another way of saying your collective. So if you think of your individual soul, your body, your physical body has a soul, then expand your perception so that you're thinking of an oversoul or a collective soul, which is the totality of your multidimensionality. The totality of your multidimensionality is the monad, the monadic structure. And the monad is a consciousness of this allness, and it exists just beneath the Godhead, meaning if it were to be reabsorbed back into the Godhead, it would draw with it all that you are, all of your multidimensionality, but it contains itself and it holds itself in an individuation from the source so that you can have this experience. So when you connect to the monad, you are connecting to a level that is just there at the God consciousness, right? The twin flame is when you can connect with yourself at that level. The twin flame experience is when you are able to connect with your monadic structure at the level of feeling, at the level of the pure divinity that it is. You don't have to wear the prettiest pair of jeans and go to the best nightclub, and that's where you're going to find your twin flame. You have to wear your heart in its entirety, wide open, in your vulnerability and your authenticity. That's how you've got to dress. That's what you've got to wear. That's how you show up in the world. And in that state, man, you feel vulnerable because you feel so raw, because you feel so seen by the world. Like you're not hiding yourself. You're not hiding anything. You are just available to the world. This is very different to I'm available to my lover only. See, when we do this, when we make ourselves available to our lover only, we're inadvertently creating this little bubble around us that says, you know, this is my love and it's very exclusive inside this bubble. This is my exclusive love. And as much as that is beautiful, most people forget to love the rest of the world because they've got this bubble, see? So they forget that beyond the exclusivity of the romantic love, there is also a will to love. When people are involved at the level where twin flame relationships can be a reality, automatically, by default, they will love the world and be in connection to the world. They have long since passed the exclusive, separate love. They are very much in an exclusive love with their partner, but there's an extension of that love to the world. It doesn't start and stop with the partner. So the authenticity and the honesty that they share with their partner, they also share with the world. Yes, the intimacy that they share with their partner, obviously, will be between them. That's the sanctity and the sanctuary of the relationship, of the romantic relationship. Do twin flame relationships necessarily have to be romantic? Normally they are, but there's acceptance to everything, right? There's no rules. There's absolutely no rules. So where you meet your twin flame, first is in the spiritual realm, in your stillness, in your presence, when you activate your divinity. In the activation of your divinity, you meet and you make yourself available to that heightened level of interaction with the monad at that point, because the twin flame is part of your own monad. At that point, you can begin to interact with the twin flame. But don't let that be the goal. Let the goal be, I'm here to interact with my monad. I'm here to interact with the monadic structure. And when that's the goal, the default happens, and that is that you get to meet the twin, right? The twin flame. Are there more than one twin flame? This is a almost controversial question, isn't it? Yeah, surely for a love like that, there can only be one. There can only, because aren't we saying twin, like the other part of you is the perception that we have? And the answer to the question is no, there's not only necessarily one. And the reason why is this. The monad is a collective consciousness. The monad is capable of occupying many bodies, not just one or two. The monad can animate numerous bodies, and those numerous bodies can find each other. So there's not necessarily only one twin flame. There can be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 twin flames, not all necessarily on the same planet as you, at the same time as you. So it's not many, it's not more than 7, but there's a very small number, but there's more than one. There is more than one. Very often these can be walk-ins as well. A twin flame can walk in, can be the energy of the monad that walks into your existing partner, your existing partnership, which may not right now necessarily be your twin flame, can become a twin flame partnership if the monadic structure deems it not just necessary, but fruitful for your evolution. You see, you don't go into a twin flame relationship because you're lonely and you want a partnership. That is not what the twin flame relationship is. The twin flame relationship is, I want to serve humanity. Because when you're activated by the presence of your twin flame, you become more as the couple than each of you could ever be as two individuals. Even if these two individuals were at the supreme height of their power and potency, they could still not be as effective, as powerful as when they unite. So in their union, there's like an explosion of creative energy. And that explosion of creative energy sets forth a course of higher purpose. It is a spiritual calling to be in a twin flame relationship, and you will be called into service. You will be called over and over again into serving humanity. Why? Because you are embodying a level of divinity, and when you embody at that level, a level of divinity at that level, you are called every single time to serve others. So do you see how the twin flame, it's not a me thing. It's how do I show up now for others and be the love for them, just like everyone's doing right now in the comments section. I haven't missed the comments. They keep coming through. They keep coming through. I'm noticing such beautiful blessings. Dear amazing souls, I wish you the most beautiful, magical life beyond your wildest dreams, filled with joy, laughter, and divine love that radiates into every aspect of your life and beyond. Oh, the compliments, the beautiful, raw, real, I love yous and your beautifuls going on in the comment section. People talking about their heart being a heart of devotion. Lenora says, wearing my heart on the outside. Listen to this one. This is from somebody in the comment section called Shiv. And this is what Shiv writes to Annette. You are a divine act of God in your body. You are white light inside of you. You are self-contained and you are pure. Jules, hello, beautiful Jules, says, much love to all who dared to be present at this unprecedented time to shine and illuminate the path forward. So you're understanding the twin flame is within. You understand that twin flame is a service to humanity. You understand the twin flame can be a walk-in. You understand it's not an accolade. It's not something, it's not a status symbol. Gosh, I want that t-shirt. I want that t-shirt printed that it's not a status symbol to be in a twin flame. And some might ask, what's the difference between a twin flame and divine union? Because you also hear that terminology, don't you? Oh, I'm in a divine partnership, or I'm in a divine union with such and such. Honestly, it's just the relabeling. That's all we've done, is we've repackaged and we've relabeled. In many cases, rightly so. In many cases, it's very difficult to be in a conventional marriage with an unconventional love, with a love that supersedes anything you could ever have dreamt of or known. Please let me reiterate to you that you are the greatest love that you will ever know. And when you have the joy of sharing the greatest love that you ever know in the form of you with another, and you can be and they can be the greatest love that you are as individuals together, you ignite. You absolutely ignite, which is where the terminology flame comes from. You become twins in a flame. And your flame lights up the world and elevates the world with love. You attract the twin flame by being your most divine, most spiritually mature self that you can possibly be, which requires you to take personal responsibility for yourself at every available opportunity, to not blame, to not project, to be able to connect to the true self in its purity. And the practice that we're doing right now is the practice that you need to do every day, every day, every day. Just love this raw, real, honest, vulnerable, authentic giving of love is the practice that you need to put you in the centered space that's required to prime yourself for the twin flame relationship. The twin flame relationship can be someone you've known for years that one day the monadic structure just animates. The twin flame could be somebody who's not even going to take in a physical body, and you will meet them every time you meditate. And I know that there are some of you having those experiences because you tell me about them, and it's beautiful to hear all of your phenomenal experiences of love. Intimacy is something that we think someone else can give to us. How often do we hear people say, you know, I just want intimacy in my relationship. I just want intimacy in my relationship. Instead of realizing that intimacy happens when you allow yourself to be seen. It's what into me see, intimacy, into me see. I'm allowing you to see into me, and that creates intimacy in our relationship. So when I drop my walls, we are intimate. That's what intimacy is. It is you dropping your walls so that you can be seen in your authenticity, in the vulnerability of who you are. Now, whether you've repackaged and relabeled your relationship with your lover as a divine union, a sacred union, a twin flame relationship, whatever you call it, the goal for each one of us is to be love, not to be seen in a loving relationship, because then the world will know that we're worthy, but to show up every day as the most love that you're capable of being right now. How much love can you be right now? So let's practice that. Let's practice. And this is what the practice looks like. I want you to just put your hand somewhere in the center of your chest so that it's covering more or less the heart area, remembering that this whole center of your chest is the heart area. It's not confined to just the heart muscle. It's the whole center of your chest. And right now, it should be very hot, because we're dealing with the energy of the flame of love. Now, we're going to do a little exercise together, and it starts with your hand on your heart. There's an energy of love, an activation of love, a frequency of love that is inviting you to know it. There is a pure, sacred sanctuary of love. And it has never, not once, existed outside of you. There is a sacred container and a sacred vessel of love, and you are carrying it. You are carrying it inside your heart. And it is being called, like a flower blooming, it is being called to blossom. It is being called this sacred love that you've longed for. It is the very nature of who you are that has been denied. In these moments, I want you to just breathe as if you were able to breathe into and out of your heart. Can you imagine that with me? Can you imagine that you were able to breathe into and out of your heart, so that your heart was pulsing with breath, so that your heart was emitting a pulse, because your heart is a container, a sacred vessel. And the heart that I speak of is not just the heart muscle, it's the entire center of your chest. That is the area that I speak of. So now you can feel how it wants to expand. I want you only to breathe. I want you only to breathe. I want you only to breathe the love of your heart and circulate it through your body. Yes, beautiful. Inga writes in the comment section, we are love alchemists. Inga, that's beautiful. Yes. Just love. This is an activation of pure love. You don't have to worry about what my hands are doing. Only that you are breathing love into and out of your heart. That's all. I want you to feel that love that you've generated in your heart, the awakened heart energy, the awakened heart energy. And I want you to keep feeling it until there's a little tug, almost like you get to a raw place. Imagine that you're opening the heart and then you get to a place where it's like, oh, that's a little bit stretchy. That's a bit tender. Do you know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about opening, expanding the heart until you get there to that place where it's just slightly tender. There, that place. Open to there, and then just stretch a little bit more. Come on, stretch with me, just a little bit more. It can feel raw and it's perfectly, totally, beautifully okay, because why? You are loved. And what you're doing right now is activating the Christ light within your own heart. And the Christ light within your own heart reaches the monadic structure. It loops from your heart into the heavens where the monadic structure resides. The monad is not separate from you. The monad, think of it like a Russian doll that surrounds you and surrounds you and surrounds you, and all of these layers, so many layers of love. That is the monadic structure. And you are looping this connection from your heart into the center of the monadic structure, which is very similar to God's source consciousness. So it feels a lot like God as you connect to the monad, as you connect to the monadic structure. Now, some of you will say, I don't know what God feels like. That doesn't matter. Just be present with love. Your brain does not have to compute anything. Now, imagine all of the viewers that are concurrently viewing this with us. Right now, there's only a couple of hundred, but that's going to be a couple of thousand, right? You're going to share this. We're all going to share this. People are going to find us. People who are not even looking are going, what a surprise they're going to get. They're going to find this. They're going to be drawn to it, and they won't even know why, because they're ready to be activated. So there's going to be a couple of thousand people that form the group that you are now in coherence, in resonance with. Please let me tell you something. When we're working with love at this octave, and somebody comes in with anything less than love, it bounces right back to them. The only thing that can take form here is this love, this heightened love. And this heightened love becomes a shield that surrounds you, letting in only love. Love is your shield. And when love is your shield, it doesn't inhibit the flow of love. It allows for the unbridled flow of love. And I want you to imagine the thousands, the rippling thousands of people who are sharing this broadcast with you in all time, and include them in the fold of your love, so that right now there is a sea of people, a sea of humanity, and there are ripples of love flowing from your heart to theirs and from their heart to yours. This is a cosmic love, a universal love, an unconditional love. Nobody had to earn this love from you, nor did you have to earn it from anyone else. I want to hear from you in the comments. I want to hear from you. What did you see or feel when you connect it with vanity, and you were rippling love to the sea of people in front of you, and you were rippling love, and you felt the love, did you, could you, would you let the love pass through you? Because some of you are going to get scared. Some of you are going to go, oh, that's challenging to let in that much love. It is. It's a beautiful challenge, and I invite each and every single one of you to make yourself available just to that little wave of love. Remember that your love is your shield. Your love protects you, and it only allows love out and in. Right now, you are perfectly, perfectly protected. For as long as you maintain this space, you are perfectly, perfectly shielded by love. So did you let the love in? And if you did, what did it feel like? And did you let the love out? And if you did, what did it feel like? Broadcasting from Lenora, I love that word. Broadcasting further and further and further, feeling it through me and back out to all. Kathy says, when you said Christ in love, I saw a bright light in my heart exploding out to everyone. Thank you. Awesome. Beautiful. Oh, yes. Lenora says, I'm including myself in the loving that I'm beaming out. And I hope that you're all doing the same thing. I hope that you're including yourself, because the twin flame love is a love. See, here's the thing with love. You cannot ask somebody else to see you or love you in a way that you cannot see yourself or love yourself. So you don't get to ask somebody else to give to you what you can't give for you, because if you do, you will become codependent on them. Because then how do I generate this love? Only this other person can give it to me. When you are in a relationship where there is no codependent love, you are there because you can self-source love. You can self-source acceptance, your own. So you will never say to somebody, I want you to accept me, because you will accept yourself. Like Lenora said, I am also loving myself. We must become masters of self-love. Beautiful Cynthia Hall says, sweet surrender, sweet surrender. Sarah says, wow, the vibration flowing in and out of me, so beautiful. There's so much love flowing from me to all. The pinching at the back of the heart opened. Love and appreciation of the past to flow freely through me all the time. That's from Amy. That's so beautiful, Amy. Shiv says, I feel so much love and so activated. I felt our love expand through the realms of the universe. Yes, because our love, remember I said in the very beginning, love cannot be contained. It cannot. It just can't. It cannot be contained. And the more you love, the more it travels. So yes, this is universal love. Yes, this is an expanding love. It's an amplification. So what's going to happen after this conversation is you're going to go about your day, whether that's to go to bed, to go to rest, to go to work, to go to school, whatever your day is right now. But the love continues to ripple through you. The love continues to ripple through you. And if you need to remind yourself what it feels like to be loved, then come back here. Come back here. That reminds me, tomorrow is the 29th of September, 2021. Who knows, you could be watching this in 2025 if YouTube is still around at such a time. On my website, I'm putting up a very beautiful meditation that I recorded some time ago, and I forgot about it. I don't know how. I think I forgot about it because today's the perfect day to release the meditation. The meditation is called the Cosmic Kiss. It's a 15-minute meditation, and it's free. It's going to be on my website. When you sign up for my newsletter, you will get it for free. If you're already signed up to my newsletter, just sign up again. Doesn't matter, you're already on, but that will give you the meditation for free. So yeah, wait till tomorrow, 29th of September, 2021. Claim it on my website, The Cosmic Kiss. I'm not sure how long it's going to be on my website for, but a couple of months. So yeah, hopefully you'll find that there. Sandra says, at first I felt pain all over my body, and then an emptiness and intense lightning from my heart to myself, then some dismantling, freedom. Then I was able to share love to others back and forth. So what Sandra's describing, I felt pain. She's describing what love does. Love, do you remember I said, feel that little bit where it feels like your heart's, tender, because it's opening. Feel that moment where the heart is so tender. Because that's stretching. What are you doing when you stretch your heart like that? You're making yourself vulnerable, authentic, real. You are setting yourself on course, on track, in line with love. You are aligning yourself to love, and you've been misaligned. It's like, here's the flow of love, and then you, and when I say you, humanity, all of us, we've been misaligned to love. So now you align yourself to that love. And as you align yourself to that love, everything that is unlike love burns. Everything that is unlike love must be released so that you can be love, so that you can be whole, so that you can be you, so that you can be true, right? My angels, thank you so much for sharing this conversation with me. This really was an activation of the heart, second to none. I'd love to hear your experience in the comment section, so please do let me know what you experienced. Let me know what else do you want to know about the twin flame, because I get a feeling that there'll be a follow-on conversation from this. There's plenty follow-up practices that we can go through. So I look forward to sharing more with you. I'll be back again on YouTube Live with you next week, Tuesday. I've got some amazing topics lined up, so many amazing topics that I don't even know where to start. I've got a topic coming up on food and consciousness. I've got a topic coming on addictions and consciousness. I've got topics coming up that I just know you're going to love. For those of you who are here for my Plasma Light Tribe, thank you so much for holding the energy with me. Thank you so much for being the open invitation to others to join us at the Plasma Light Tribe. Go to kerryk.net/join if you would like to connect with these like-minded souls. Thank you so much, everyone. Your love is felt. Humanity felt your love. This is what it is to enter a twin flame relationship. It starts with opening your heart to love. It starts with connecting to the monad. Beyond that, beyond connecting to the monad, you begin to connect to the divinity that you are and just sit in the presence of divinity that you are, which is the open landscape for that twin flame. To first be met by your heart in the ethereal and then the physical. Lots of love. Speak to you.